a very good day, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is Danny Boy with another episode from Run Danny Boy. So let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Another shoe review. What do we got here? Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Bam! Wait, this is a bottle of water. Our next shoe actually is made of the same plastic that is used in water bottles. So let's introduce it for real this time. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Bam! Yes, the Vivobarefoot Primus Lite. So this shoe right here is a minimalist shoe. And if you're wondering what a minimalist shoe is, as the name implies, it has very little to offer the foot. So it tries to replicate running barefoot as much as possible. So some of the characteristics you'll notice with a minimalist shoe, for example, it'll have a wider toe box. So as you can see, there's much more space. Shoes are normally a little more narrower. Also, they can be more lightweight in terms of construction since they have less to offer in terms of cushioning. The offset is typically 0 because the back of the shoe, the heel stack height, and the forefoot stack height is equal. So with this particular shoe, I don't know either one, but the offset is 0. So whether it's 3 millimeters and 3 millimeters or 5 millimeters and 5 millimeters, the fact of the matter is there is no difference between the two. So the shoe replicates a barefoot type of run. So like I said, it doesn't have a lot of cushioning. Most of them don't. And these type of shoes can also be very flexible, trying to imitate running barefoot. So the specifications for the shoe, let's start off with the weight. So for a women's size 7, the shoe is 5.85 ounces. For the men, we're talking 7.83 ounces. Those are the weights. And as I said, the offset of the shoe is 0. So if you are used to a normal running shoe, you're definitely going to feel a bit of a difference. And with this type of shoe, I would never try doing a heel strike because there is virtually no padding. There's almost nothing back there. You're just going to go and just strike straight with bone to concrete or whatever surface you're running on, pavement. So with these type of shoes, especially because if you ever try running barefoot, you'll probably notice that you do land on the front of your foot when you run barefoot. And because of that, you need to run the same way with these types of shoes because they are not forgiving. So there's that with these shoes. Now, going back to the material, as I said, these shoes are made of the same type of material as water bottles. There's no leather construction. There's nothing in here. So in essence, these shoes are vegan. So if you are very animal conscious, this is definitely a type of shoe you might want to go for because of that. So there's that. Now, going into the specifics as to what type of material this actually is, the type of plastic that it is made out of, it's called PET. So PET is polyethylene, So PET stands for polyethylene terephthalate. I'm probably slaughtering that, but dang it, I said it wrong. Run it again! So PET stands for polyethylene. Oh, I hate this shoe so much now. Oh, we're gonna get this right, YouTube. We're gonna get this right. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna read right off the script here, okay? This is a PET, polyethylene terephthalate. There, said it. Done with that. Now, next, I want to talk about how insanely flexible these shoes are. Okay, so as I said, barefoot shoes, they try to replicate barefoot movement as much as possible. And of course, a stiff shoe won't offer that. So take a look at these bad boys, okay? Not only can you do bam, you can do bam. Wait, I'm not done yet. Bam. Oh, hold the phone. Bam. Curled it up into a ball and threw it. Thankfully, I have the other foot right here. So anyways, let's continue. The shoe is super flexible, but the next thing I want to talk about, of course, you may be wondering, a shoe that flexible, is it safe? Obviously, it has a very thin outsole, is it safe to run around with? And actually, this type of material, the material that they have on the bottom is actually 5 times more puncture resistant than a regular shoe of the same type of thickness. That's how they marketed it. That's how they promoted it, and I wasn't too sure about it at first. But when I was running with these shoes, there were 2 different occasions in which I stepped down my foot and I actually heard and felt a little of me stepping on glass. I didn't feel anything puncture, but I felt what I had stepped on, and I heard it crinkling against the pavement. So I definitely stepped on two pieces of glass. Not only did I step on them though, neither time did it stick to the shoe. So it made contact, it tried to pierce the shoe had prevented that, and I just kept running my merry way. It's a pretty good material. I can't really hate on it at all. It's tough, at the same time it's very flexible, which is an impressive combination right there. So going back to what I said briefly, this shoe and most minimalist shoes, they have a wider toe box, and by that it lets your toes kind of spread. The thing you'll notice, if you ever look at newborns or people who just have never really worn shoes, those people who do not wear shoes, their toes tend to flare out more. If you're used to wearing shoes or you wear them all the time, you'll notice those people will have their toes are actually closer together, and in some instances they kind of squish in, and that's because of the shoe. So to replicate more of a barefoot feel, many of these shoes have a wider toe box, and when you try these on, you're just going to kind of feel like you're just barefoot. It's actually quite nice. You got all this space, there's no squishing, so putting these shoes on, it's pretty awesome. I really enjoyed the toe box of the Primus Lites. Now next I want to talk about, obviously because there's less cushioning and you're closer to the ground contact and the material here is rather on the thin side, I have to say that I was impressed with how well I could feel the ground. Now it's not as good as being barefoot. Of course, you can feel everything underneath your feet as you step when you're barefoot. When you step with these kind of shoes compared to traditional shoes, you can actually feel the pebbles that you might step on. You can feel, if you're running on cement, you can feel the difference between each joint of concrete. Every time you step through, you can kind of feel the cracks there, which is really impressive for me. So it kind of gives you a little bit of almost like a feedback as you're running, and you're aware of what you're stepping on. It's pretty cool. The other thing that I noticed, and the website, the shoe company doesn't say anything about this. This is just my own personal opinion on this one. The shoe, depending on how perceptive you are, you can kind of correct your running posture a little bit with these shoes. Specifically, sometimes when I run, I have some pain in my left knee. And with these shoes, I was able to really feel where my left foot was striking in comparison to my right. My right wasn't giving me any pain, so obviously if I tried to replicate what my right leg was doing to my left one, then the pain should subside. And actually it did. I was trying to adjust exactly where my foot was landing in my strike and how I was making contact with the ground, and because of that, I was able to actually alleviate the pain in my left knee. So once again, that is just something that I've personally noticed. It may or may not work for you, and it's not something that the website boasts about. It's just something I personally experienced with this running shoe. Okay, so next I do want to talk about the tongue here. So the tongue of this shoe is particularly thin. I was actually quite scared when I first saw these shoes because I was concerned with how much pressure I might feel from my laces. I'm gonna turn this around. I don't know if you can see, that is super thin. And I was really concerned with me tying my laces, if the laces were gonna actually press against my skin, obviously on top of the tongue, and cause some discomfort while I was running. So that was a concern of mine. However, although this is super thin, I had no issues whatsoever with the laces pressing against the top of my foot. So that was actually a bullet dodged. What I do not like about these shoes, I mean, there's only one major gripe I have about these shoes, holy moly, it is these laces. These laces, they are thick and round, and they don't really seem like much. The problem is that they keep untying themselves. The amount of times that I've been walking around with these shoes, and I have to stop, walking with somebody, hold on, I gotta tie my shoe, again, it was insane. So I would say, like, the shoe itself, really good shoe. If I were you though, I would try to go and switch out the laces. Something flat, something thinner, something that would probably, you know, just last longer, because nothing is more annoying than having to stop your run, retie your shoelaces, or, you know, just to continue doing that, you can't really enjoy what you're doing. So that is my major one gripe with these shoes. Now, another thing I want to talk to you guys about is foot burn. Okay, do I mean athlete's foot? No, I don't mean that. With a shoe like this, you will probably notice, especially if you're new to running with minimalist shoes, is that there is more friction inside of like your foot inside of the shoe. Okay, so your foot might be moving around a little bit, or just the contact within the insole. You might kind of feel like your foot is kind of burning. And probably left unchecked, you may get blisters. So just really, when you run with minimalist shoes, especially if you're new to it, take it easy, okay? You may experience some foot burn. I did experience that with these shoes. I think after the second run, that disappeared. But initially, you might feel that. You can kind of, overcome it. You can get past that. But be aware of it and listen to your body. If you feel like, oof, this is too much, or oof, I don't want to get a blister, then stop. But at first, you might kind of feel there's too much friction between the insole and your foot when you're running around with this. So beware. Now, this shoe is not for trail running. And I am not a trail runner, but I can already tell you right off the bat it's not, because a lot of those shoes have a lot more protection and a little more stability. Because of running on trails. It's uneven territory, there's a lot of hard surfaces and things like that. So this shoe, although it's puncture resistant, I would not suggest it for trail running. If you like the company, if you like the idea of a vegan shoe and you want to try like a trail running version of the shoe, then in the Vivobarefoot website, they do offer a trail running shoe version of this one. I've never done trail running, so I can't really comment, and I haven't tried it out yet, so I can't give you a review on that one in particular. I can tell you about this one, and that I like it, but that one I haven't tried yet. So you may want to try to, try before you buy, or try to, do your research, do your due diligence before you get it, but there is a trail running variation of this shoe. It's just not this one. With that said, though, this shoe, I think, personally, is amazing for everyday use. They're quick to slip on, take off, and, you're just kind of walking around. I personally like a black color. You can wear it with a lot of things. It looks a little silly maybe with the wider toe box, but you know what, I personally don't care. I enjoy walking around with these just about everywhere. So not only are they great running shoes, but they're also great walking shoes. If your feet kind of start aching though, they're not really great for like standing for long periods of time or walking for long periods of time. I feel that after a while my feet start to hurt. They not hurt, but they get tired. So if you're gonna do something, you're walking all day, you're on your feet all day, maybe something not for work, but you're going to the park, you're having a good time. These are actually pretty good for also everyday use. I would recommend that as well. All right, so now the final verdict for this one, ladies and gentlemen. If I had to give between this, and this, I would give it this. But change the frickin' laces. Please change the laces, okay? I don't know if the website, if these guys are listening to me. If they are, change the laces. If they're not, if you get these shoes, change the laces, okay? But the shoe does get a positive review on my side here. This also is the first, currently only shoe that I have an affiliate link for. So in the description, if you would like to get the shoe, just click on the link and it'll take you right to the website. You can get your shoe. Once again, it's the Primus Lites. Now with an affiliate link, I do get a small commission, but it's no extra charge to you. They pay it to me. Okay, so once again, the link is in the description. Click there to find out more or get yourself a pair of the Primus Lites. So there is that with the shoe. Don't forget, rundannyboy.com. I have all of my reviews. I have all of my articles, all of my videos. All of it is right there. Also follow me on Twitter at rundannyboy1. And please don't forget to do that now, a little click right there, and subscribe to the channel. Of course, I'll be posting more videos, more articles, more of the stuff on the channel and also the website, so check those out. And don't forget, the music, as usual, is provided by Jinenji. If you're interested, you really like the music, just click on the link to find out some more from Jinenji. All right, well, folks, that is it from me right here. Hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, enjoy your run. Take care. Ah, shoe juice.